bop bop, boo doo boo doo bop bop. What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing all right. Happy hump day. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of April. My gosh, what is happening to the time? Let's see. We got, yes, I just wanted to confirm because I wasn't quite sure, but I wanted to make sure. So I just made sure. 1 week from today, next Wednesday, my birthday, I'll be 43. Let's go. So I hope that, I don't know, I guess maybe during the show on next Wednesday, we'll just sing happy birthday. That'll be fun. Boom. That's what we like to do with the Web3 Breakfast. Even though, okay, I do have to say, completely going to be changing the format of the show and how I do things starting next week. And so I've been teasing it a little bit over the last like 24 hours or so, but as it turns out, I'm going to give you a little more juice today. So I did trial run just to make sure that I could get the audio going on the W3BC Radio X today. So I did get a bunch of people that joined in on that and checked that out. Had some people asking, what's this about? So as some of you know, maybe some of you don't know, when I went to college, I went for broadcast communications. I was on my college radio station. That is something that I've always had a passion for. That's why I do this kind of stuff. And people always say, like, you know, you got a radio voice. And I have been told that for most of my life. And so I don't know if that was like what got me into it, but I've always been into the whole production thing, whether it was, you know, acting, film stuff, whatever it was. Like, it was just always a passion of mine. And, you know, kind of getting back to this radio thing and the ability to have some real long form, drawn out days kind of content, you know, that's my plan. So really quick, smash that like button right now. Subscribe right now if you are not. I don't know why you wouldn't have been, but that's okay. If you are watching on X, make sure that you smash that heart. This is usually what I'm playing with in my hand, is a poker chip. What it is it's a magnet thing, but I'm gonna like RFID chip it and make it a because I've got a thing like there is a thing in there, whatever it is, and then make that like a business card. When I go to the conferences, be like, yo, boop, and you just like touch the phone. It's like, there you go. You got what you need from me. So that is that plan. All right, let's go through some important house cleaning. And I will get back to the plan on the show. I'm just, you know, cliffhanging. You guys got to hang on a little bit longer if you want to know what's going to happen next week. So really quick, let's go through our metal count today. Remember, at some point soon, some point very soon, this is all going to matter and mean something. And for right now, I do want to congratulate Mike Vollmer on the gold medal. Let's go. Bags of Rags, my dude, coming in silver. Let's get it. And then Dougie Fresh, 6 a.m. Doug, my guy, taking the bronze. Mike Lowry, yo, throwing a fourth place medal out there, just saying, I'm taking it, I don't care. And good for you. I appreciate that. You should do that. I think that we should do that. From now on, we are going to break the mold. It's not just 1, 2, 3 anymore. It's 1, 2, 3. And then if you want to drop a medal when you get there, please do. You can get yourself a reward. Again, at some point, these things will matter and they will mean something very soon, I hope. So shout out to all my fam in the chat. Let's go. Andrew, let's get it. All right. There is that. That is that information right there. I want to bring this up right here. As you guys know, I am working with Phemex. Y'all should have already signed up, even though I know that you guys didn't. I know that you didn't, because I know that there's only one person who has and who has traded. But the idea of the Easter competition, there is probably, let's see here. Let me go to the page. Phemex Easter trading competition. There is 13 hours and 54 minutes left to go. So running out of time. So you missed the Easter competition, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, I did tell you that there was prize pools for every levels and thresholds and all sorts of fun stuff. I'm going to probably cap out unless ONDO takes a dip and picks me up at the previous daily, which we are on a dip. 89.93 is where I've got. That is the previous daily VWAP. And we'll look at this a little bit later in the show. But unless ONDO comes down to touch these levels on the VWAPs, close to a half a milli is what I will claim for my volume. 415,161,021 cents. Not bad. But then when you look at like the totals, 103 million is the number one trader in that. I mean, and that's the thing. Like, that's why I said, like, that doesn't discourage me. Like, I was still trading, even though like it was like some dude had like 50 million within like the first 12 hours. Like, you're getting blown out. Like, it doesn't matter. But there are different thresholds, different levels, multiple payouts, all that kind of shit. So you should have done it anyway, but you fucking didn't. But now's your chance. Link in bio on X, because most of you are watching there. You can also go down to the description of the video of the live stream if you are watching on YouTube and click in there. Start an account. Like, you may already have a Phemex account. You may already have an account somewhere else, but start one and trade with us. Like, we're going to do competitions. There'll be prizes, all sorts of shit. So just come hang out and do that shit. Let's go. Oh, plus, boom. I'm so glad that I remembered this. I have got, and Phemex set me up with a trading telegram, signals, all sorts of cool, fun stuff. And I kind of teased this yesterday saying we've got some cool tools coming out. So if you guys want to join that as well, the only place you're ever going to be able to find that, and that's the exclusive, is if you want to be part of that trading telegram. All right. You want to be part of that trading telegram. You got to come to the YouTube. Got to get it there. It's in the description of the YouTube. Got to come there and click it. You might as well just subscribe and hit the noti bell while you're here. You know what I mean? Fam. All right. That is that order of business. The next thing I want to talk about, speaking of Phemex, I'm going to show my screen for this one. Here we go. They launched the USDC flexible savings, earn up to 10% APY. You can like unstake it at any point that you want. It is flexible savings, right? But you put it up there and you can withdraw it at any point. There is no lockup period, all that stuff. You can invest up to $500,000 in USDC. 10% right there. Look. I'm going to make a whole video on this like I did for the Easter trading competition. I'm going to do something like this. So it's 5% on USDT, 10% on USDC. So I'm going to start doing some of that and then showing you how to just make some free money. All right. Let's see. We did all of our house cleaning, guys. Make sure that you do smash the like button on your way in here. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's be real. Let's talk about if you watched and if you see, like, maybe you're over on the YouTube or you saw today that I went live with a thing called W3BC Radio X. So as it turns out, I do like this really crazy thing where I stretch my entire day out, where I have one show at 9 and another one at 4 currently. And I do a lot of things at my computer throughout the day. And there's probably a much better way for me to show you guys like what I do, how I research, how I understand this market and all that stuff, and a more cohesive way for me also to present it, so I don't have a lull of like several hours throughout the day or whatever. So the idea is at 8:45, and I'm trying to decide how I'm going to handle the weekends, because I do want to make some kind of effort to have that consistency of the same time frames, but I got to figure out how to do the content with just totally like repurposing, but not make it annoying. Anyway, that's my problem to figure out, and I will do that. And if you have solutions for me, anyway, here you go. So the whole idea of Monday through Friday from 8:45 in the morning is when I'm going to kick off with some music until 9. And then at 9 is when we start what, has been the Web3 Breakfast. I'm going to split it up into two halves, right? We're going to do kind of like, so my whole idea of the plan behind all of this is that I'm going to go to the gym like I'd like to do in the morning early. I get up like super early every day. So go to the gym, come back. I probably haven't done a whole lot of research on crypto by the time I'm back from the gym, right? Because I want to focus and I want to clear my mind and do that stuff. So then come back, have breakfast, hang out with the fam for a little bit, and then get to my desk by about 8 something, 8:15, whatever, 8:30, and then 8:45 we kick off the W3BC Radio X. So 15 minutes of music. And it is a space that runs on the W3BC media account, right? So there's a space running all day from 8:45 a.m. until, 3 in the afternoon plus whatever, if we run late, whatever. And so now here's how the programming breaks out. And if you have questions, if you want to participate, if you want to add anything, collab, whatever, y'all are more than welcome to, because my goal is to get this up to 24 hours like a radio station would. But you got to start somewhere. So I'm just going to start Monday through Friday and then repurpose some of the content onto the weekends. But again, once we have more people, we have more collaboration, we have more collaborators and more shows and functions and all that stuff, then we can add more stuff into here. So 9 to 10 is what I've got scheduled for what was Web3 Breakfast. What is Web3 Breakfast? It's still that same. And this is where we, again, I'm fresh out the gym, coming back from the family, haven't done any research yet. So we go through headlines. How does the narrative of the day start to spin in the morning, right? So that's what we do for the first half. We room reset at 9:30, and then 9:30 to 10 beyond, whatever, is either a continuation of an important topic that's happening, or we have a guest and we do AMA, something like that, right? So then that takes us through 10. We run a little long, that's fine, because after we've got a buffer until 11. These are all East Coast times, by the way, and so translate to yours. So from the end of breakfast until we get to 11 a.m. my time is music, right? And that's where we got DJ Carey dropping some beats. I'm going to use Audius. And you guys, that's what you saw me practicing today, was kind of how can I pipe that sound in correctly, because God knows I've had some fucking issues with it. And so I'm working on that to make sure that I got this nailed in and all the settings dialed in. I'm going to like write a little cheat sheet and make sure all the settings are whatever. Anyway, so that is going to go on until, let's see. So we've got the breakfast until 10. We've got music that goes on till 11. And then from 11 to 12:30 these are all to be determined. I'm going to finalize everything. But for right now, like 11 to 12:30 is where I am going to take the 4 p.m. show and bring it down to that. And so that'll be news, numbers, market update, mid-market, midday, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's going to be the replacement. That's going to be the JChains show. That's what I've been doing it for, but I'm going to do it a little bit earlier. And then from there, whatever time that ends, because we built in some flex time with some more music. And then at 1 o'clock, is a rotating daily show. It is totally themed. If you've been a fan of the morning show, like Carrie was running the NF Tuesday show. That's going to now come in at 1 o'clock. On Wednesdays, we're going to do gaming. So I think we've got a great guest. I know Gringo's going to help us out with next week. We're going to talk about some Yuga stuff, other side, whatever, anything else that we need to talk to about that. And then on Thursdays, the plan is to do like a crypto 101 for moms, right? My wife she wants to learn a little bit more, and she wants to, really engage in this. And so she's really helping me, really put this together. So I think the whole idea of doing like a ladies, crypto moms, all that stuff on Thursdays from 1 to 2, great. And then we've got some buffer time that we'll put into there as well, depending on how that runs, because the end of the day is 3 o'clock. So technically that final hour, whatever time it starts, if it starts at, say 1:45, because the 1 o'clock show ends a little early or it runs a little late, whatever. So again, there's music that would play in the fillers. So that last hour is basically just chilling out, vibing out, kind of talking about how the day went, any call to actions that we need for the rest of the day and tomorrow. And you just see how it goes. And that's like the flexible, we'll just have some fun to end the day. So that, I know that was a really long-winded way of me telling you that I'm changing everything. And so instead of going live twice a day for 1 hour, I'm going to go live once a day for like 6 hours. But then I will have some breaks where that's like the music can just play while I, slip away, maybe run, go grab a sandwich or water or whatever. Anyway, coffee, you know how it goes. So, all right. Yeah. When is Ellie's segment going to be? Anytime. That's the thing. Like if someone wants to do a show, like say Blocky wants to, get like what he's doing added into this, like that's no problem. Like we can, if it's an hour, hour and a half, whatever it is, we just add it into the schedule. Oop. Scam likely. Let me turn that volume off that ringer. My bad, G. So, all right. That is that. I appreciate you guys being. Let's go. Let's get into the show. Smash that like. I love the idea of an interactive radio station. Yeah, that's the whole thing. And so it'll be interlaced throughout the day between, having spaces with guests and having people up on stage, or just me talking. And the whole day is run as a space on the W3BC Media account. And then I will, from here, flip the camera on for some live stream. Not everything is going to be live streamed. Some of it will, some of it won't. At least that's the plan. And maybe with like this music and how it's all working out, maybe we just go live for 6 hours a day. We'll see. That's what I've got between now and Monday to figure out, because I'm kicking this thing off Monday morning, 8:45. So appreciate you guys being here. Smash that like button. Do the things you got to do. Hit subscribe. Be following. Yada, yada, yada. Yada, yada, yada. All right. And cancel your Spotify now. Absolutely. Ain't no need for that. All right, let's go. Let's get into the markets. I know everybody's super excited. 3.5% up. Let's go. Pumpsville. I am not getting into longs right now. I did yesterday. I am waiting for some things to cool out. When we do look at the charts a little bit later in the show, I will show you. You know that we've been hopping on this V-wave, the leapfrog indicator thing, and it has just been crushing it. I think I'm like 12 or 13 trades in a row. It hasn't missed, and so I'm waiting, man. I'm waiting until I see this thing come back down and touch some of the other VWAP levels, and then we can continue back up. I get it, but just from what I've seen, from what I've been playing, this thing is gonna touch the daily. The previous daily, and that's down at like 89, almost 90 cents. So I'm waiting for this thing to come down a little bit lower, and then I'm getting in. There's also some other, like if you were to look at like the previous, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. I'm really excited because I want to trade, and I want you guys to understand how excited I am for this market and where we're going, because things are looking positive, man. But we'll wait until we get into the charts. Stick around to the end when we get into the charts. Let's get to cryptomarketcap.com. As you guys can see right here at the top, we got a market cap of 2.95 trillion. We are almost there, almost to 3 trillion, almost back to 3 trillion, I should say. So we're up again, almost 3.5% today. Volume up 29%. You got dominance. We're going to look at this on TradingView because it tells us a different story. Dominance at 64.5%. It does say 63.4 here on CoinMarketCap, a little low. ETH 7.4%, just keeps slipping and slipping and slipping and slipping and slipping. Gwei 0.85, even with all this excitement. Man, oh man. It's either a good thing or it's a terrible thing. We've got Fear and Greed Index 52, sitting at a neutral. Altcoin season at a 15. Yowza. Man, we just can't catch a break, but that's because the Bitcoin dominance won't chill. It's got no chill. We need Bitcoin dominance to chill. Let's look at this. Is one of our favorite things to look at. This is the top 100 coins performance over the last 90 days. Bitcoin hanging in there at 10%, man. Last week when we looked at this, we had been moving down the ranks, so pretty close. So it's hanging in there. What is above it? We got Tau, Leo, Pendle, OKB, Cake, Tron, GT, No, Maker. All right, typical story. Nothing worth a damn really above it. Get your panties out of a bunch. I know it's your favorite coin, but you're fine. What else we got here? Let's go all the way to the bottom. This is where we do our shrimping. Do them shrimpins. Ohm still kicking it at 85%. I tell you what. How is our shrimping portfolio doing, by the way? Let's go full screen for this. I'm gonna go to the chat in a second here because it's been a while. Let's pull this up. Oh, baby, our shrimping portfolio from 500 to 731. There it is. How does our performance go? Exactly how you think it would. Exactly how you think it would. Our coins are Render, Fetch, Graph, Pith, and JASMY. Those are the 5. We bought 100 off this shrimping chart a couple weeks ago. When was it? April 7th. So we bought $100 of 5 of the biggest losers on this. We called this our shrimping. We went on shrimping boats, right? So we have got JASMY is up to 171.80, up 71%. Let's fucking go. All right, Render 153.80, up 53%. I'll take that in 2 weeks. Let's go. Shrimping ain't easy, baby. Ask Bubba. Shrimp saute, shrimp gumbo, shrimp kebabs. All right. In third place, Oh, I said render next. That's my bad. Second place is Fetch. Fetch is at 158.90. So almost, man, we're getting close to 60% popper on that one. Love to see that. So JASMY, Fetch, then render at 53%. It's up to 153. And then we got our stinkers, baby. If all things pumping and just showing us some amazing stuff in the markets, we got the graph and Pith. Pith's up to 126 and the graph's up to 120. What are we going to do with those coins? Are we going to hang on to them? Are we going to dump them? They're just fucking losers, man. They were losers before. They were losers, the biggest losers in this dump. And we've all got a lot of faith in them. And I see losers, like price-wise, like I know that they do good stuff. The Zoolander place for kids who can't read good. They do good things in crypto, those tokens. They do, but they just don't have good prices. I tell you what. Graph may be a little before its time. And again, Pith, my feelings are Pith needs Chainlink. Pith needs Chainlink to like rip. Just to do its thing. And to get a ton of attention. And from there, I've been saying success breeds competition. There you go. So good luck with your shrimping out there. If you guys want to look at, again, this is what we got. I would stay in like the 50s and up, right? So start with the graph and Pith. Golly. Man, they haven't left the shrimping. You know why? And if you don't know why we call them shrimps and shrimping, do some research. I also learned that crabs are bottom feeders too. That's why we call shrimpers, because they're bottom feeders. Okay. Let's get back. Let's get serious. This is a serious thing that we need to be looking at right now, because we're looking at some prices. And let's go. Bitcoin, 93, almost 94,000. Love to see that. Let me just refresh. You know, that's always what we got to do. All right, here we go. Bitcoin, 93,856. Ethereum, 1796. Let's go. Let's get that thing back over $2,000. Come on. XRP, triple twos. Whew. Solana, 150. Come on, baby. I guess I got a big stack of Solana. I want to see that thing at 500. I really want to see it at 800 to 1,200. But let's get that thing up to 500. Come on, Solana. Do that thing. Dogecoin, almost 18 cents. Cardano, 69.97. That's a good price. Tron coming in under 25 cents. That is down on the week while everything is up. Tron does opposites of everything right now, which is weird. Chainlink up to number 11. Okay, 14.94. And you got Sui at 302. Man, that thing fucking ripped. 42% a week, 23% overnight. Let's go. AVAX to 13. What else do we got here? 500 USD sold. Yes, please. Let's get it. How about that turbo? Is that, we got to check it out. It's not in one of the trenders. I'll check that turbo for you. Turbo coming in at 143. Oh, I love you. 143, 143. That was the pager code, right? 143 for pagers? For love? Yo, what's the 411 on the 420, dog? Market cap, 313 million, turbo. 69 billion. 69 billion is the supply. Okay. Let's see. Let's check out their website. I don't know if I've ever checked out the Turbo website. A meme coin made by AI for the people. I like that. That's a cool image. What are you going to take? Let's do a poll. I'm going to do it over on, you guys know that's why it's important to join the YouTube, because this is where the fun is for now. I mean, until like we can figure out how to do more like beep bop oops and whatever. The best I can do while I host a show is run a poll. This is the best you're going to get from the multitask. So, which pill you taking? Green or red? Neither. Or both. All right, there's your poll. It is up on the YouTubes, guys. Make sure that not only do you smash that like button, but you smash that poll. You can smash anything else. You can smash anything you want. I don't care what you smash. As long as you smash the like button on my video, we are A-OK, brothers and sisters. All right, let's get that. Let's see. I'm interested to see how this poll goes. I know what my answer would be. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Get in there and vote on that. Get into YouTube now. All right. There is the Turbo website. Just one last time before we go. Which pill are you taking? Are you taking from this? And you got to take it from this guy. It is literally coming from this gold frog man in the trench coat with the popped collar. Green or red? What are you doing? All right. Let's look at, are there any opportunities for us to look at some coins that may be down? Is anything down? Official Trump. That's one of the stories we'll be looking at. We're going to go through a couple headlines here. Official Trump is on a tear, and you'll know why in a little bit here. So AB, Dexy, Helium, Hyperliquid, Pax Gold. No, you missed the dip, baby. You missed the dip. You done missed it. Because, like, if we just go to market cap, I mean, look at these. Look at those charts, man. Look at those charts. All of them. We should just, what I need to do is this. There you go. Whoop. Back to Turbo. I didn't mean to do that. Oops. Okay, well, I think that that's a good indicator of the broad market here is that, one, we're pumping. Two, cautiously optimistic about where we go in the short term, but we know where things are headed. We did just get some, and one of the other stories that we're going to get into is that we have got ourselves a, let's see, what do we got? Let's see, what are the stories? It was Trump was one, the Cantor one. We got a new SEC chair. That's true. That could probably have really helped. You know, we haven't really heard a lot of tariffs lately. The new SEC chair, we're pledging clear crypto regulation and market growth. That's, you know, that's a clear sign that all of those headlines, and I had been, you know, that we had been talking about the bullish divergence that crypto was playing out, that like our price was going down, but headline after headline after headline after headline, day after day after day was some of the most bullish news I have heard literally since I got into crypto on a consistent basis, on a like major scale basis of like what implications this brings. And this literally brings in the mass adoption of crypto is all of this activity. Was it done right? Is it going to be a little sloppy in the beginning, a little painful? Of course, everything is. Come on. But at the end of the day, it's go time. It's go time. All right. Let's go to the first article. This is why. Oh, actually, before we get into articles, let's look at the chat here really quick. Let's go. KMFA, what's up, fam? Carrie, what's up, fam? Ellie, let's go. Mike Navarro. Mike Vollmer. Carmen, hey, what's up, Carmen? Hope you are doing well. There we go. And then let's see, we got all of our medal winners. We've got Mike Vollmer, Mike Lowry, Doug. Breezy, what's up, fam? Hope you're doing well. Hey. Let me know. We're excited for you. All right. That is the chat now. Let's get into this story. All right. This is why the Trump token is ripping. The top 220 holders of the Trump token are going to have an exclusive dinner on May 22nd. And listen, y'all know we'd been saying it was in the morning show. I'd said on the afternoon show, there is no chance that he was going to let that thing die off like a meme coin. No way. They were going to, whether it's artificially or here's some utility. This is actual utility. So now everybody wants to try to be a token holder. That's fucking smart, man. Get yourself to a dinner with Trump. So, see, top 220 Trump holders May 12th will be eligible for the gala dinner at the Trump National Golf Course in D.C. So you've got until May 12th. We'll take a look. Well, all right, we're gonna look at the holders and all that stuff, and we'll see where you got to be if you wanna get on that list. We'll do that in a second here, unless it tells us in here. Let's see. So the event's May 22nd. Select few top 25 holders earning VIP reception with the president and a special tour of the White House. Oh, shit. Following the announcement of the Trump Gala dinner. Yeah, that's when it ripped. Okay, let's do this. Here's the Trump token. And this is the last day. And you saw this thing go from $9 up to $13. Here's the all-time. It's still dog shit, right? The chart's dog shit, but rounded bottoms pay the bills. Okay, so let's go here. We copied the contract address. Let's go to SolScan. All right, share this tab. Here you go. So now we're on the SolScan for the Trump token. You can go to holders. Let's go. Probably be faster to go this way. And then remember, keep in mind, these numbers are probably going to go up. But you got to have $410,000 worth of this token to be eligible. You got to have 30,000 tokens. 30,000. Number 220 right now has 30,693 tokens. So if you're trying to go to that dinner, you got to get yourself more than that. And that's right now. But there looks like a little bit of a jump between the next two holders. So you could $1 bob it, I'm sure. Yeah, there's gaps in here, man. You could squeeze in the last minute, I'm sure. All right, well, there you go. 30,693 Trump tokens. If you want to get yourself to the special dinner, you can do it. All right. Yeah, man, I can't even believe this. This is probably going to do stuff like this over the next 4 years. It may be beneficial to get yourself a little moon bag of this. It may be beneficial. Spend $100. Get a couple tokens. Seems like a security risk, to be honest with you. You're going to have to, that you're just going to let any holder of the token. I mean, you could be a total, a rich, insane person for sure. And just because you got the tokens, but you got to be vetted. I mean, you'll have to go through Secret Service. Just because you got the tokens doesn't mean that you can get entry if you're like on a list or something. I would just think that this is a heavily vetted event, even for the token holders, because the president's there. Can't just have a bunch of degen crypto rich bozos. I mean, I guess that goes against all of it, but you set the rules when you're the president. It is what it is. I don't make the rules, and I'm not the president. So here we go. Our next story: Cantor plans $3 billion crypto venture with SoftBank, Phemex, and Tether. Here we go. The Financial Times reports that Tether will fork out $1.5 billion. SoftBank's going to add $900 million, and Phemex will put in $600 million to a new crypto acquisition company called 21 Capital. Oh, so cute. 21. Like, there's only 21 million Bitcoin. So cute. It's like a node to Bitcoin. Brandon Lutnick. He's the chair of investment banking firm Cantor Fitzgerald. He's in here. Him and the consortium hope to create a publicly listed crypto acquisition company to capitalize on the market under crypto-friendly U.S. President Donald Trump and replicate Michael Saylor's company strategy. There you go. Okay. Let's see. They plan to raise another $350 million in convertible bonds. So they want to do this. The Cantor Equity Partners raised $200 million in January. At the same time, stable issuer Tether will fork out $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Japanese investment firm holding SoftBank Group will contribute $900 million. We talked about that. And their new venture hopes to raise another $350 million in convertible bonds and separate $200 million private equity placement to buy a Bitcoin. Okay. The deal has not been finalized yet, though, and some details could change before it's officially announced. Brandon Lutnick was named chair of Cantor Fitzgerald when his father, Howard Lutnick, stepped down to become the Secretary of Commerce. There you go. There he is. Howard Lutnick and Donald Trump. Mr. Mayo, what's up, fam? Hope you are doing well. Cantor Fitzgerald has managed Tether's treasury portfolio and $134 billion of reserves, mainly in U.S. treasury bills, since 2021. They also own a 5% stake in the stablecoin issuer. Okay. Cantor acted in an advisory role for Tether's $770 million investment in YouTube alternative Rumble in December last year. I wonder how that's working out. Is Rumble, what's the deal with Rumble? Is Rumble any good? Does anybody use it? I'm asking seriously. I'm not asking. This is not me being a smart ass or anything. Because if I should be using it, then I will. Or if there's other platforms, let me know. Meanwhile, let's see. That's it. That's it. There we go. There we go. Now I wonder, because if it's because like 1.5 billion was the largest transaction before, and that was with stablecoin. I wonder if you have three entities coming together and maybe that goes into escrow, if that 3 billion then becomes the largest crypto transaction, if that's how this ends up working out. That's interesting. Rumble's a surprisingly good platform. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to check it out. I will have to do that. All right, here's our story about the new SEC chair who's sworn in. He's pledging clear crypto regulation and market growth. The new era dawns at the SEC. Its freshly appointed chair signals a bold pivot toward clear, market-friendly digital asset regulation that could ignite industry growth. Let's see here. They announced a couple days ago on April 21st, Paul Atkins had been sworn in as the agency's 34th chairman. This was an appointment that followed a nomination by Donald J. Trump, our president, as you guys know. In his first remarks as the chairman, he acknowledged the responsibility and reaffirmed his dedication to the SEC's objectives. I am honored by the trust and confidence President Trump and the Senate have placed in me to lead the SEC. As I return to the SEC, I am pleased to join with my fellow commissioners and the agency's dedicated professionals to advance its mission to facilitate capital formation, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets, and protect investors. Together, we will work to ensure that the U.S. is the best and most secure place in the world to invest and do business. There you go. Whoa. Let's see. He was at Potomac Global Partners, a firm he founded in 2009 before. Let's see, because he was, it was back in 2008, right? Did it say, did I glaze over that? When was he? There you go. 2002 to 2008 is when he served as a commissioner. There you go. So shout out to our new SEC chair. Let's get it. Come on, Paul Atkins. Come on, Paul. Don't you dare pull a Mr. Smithers. Or was it Mr. Smithers? Yeah. All right, here's the last article. Last article I got for you today. This one, crypto drainers now sold as easy-to-use malware at IT industry fairs. That sounds pretty fucked up. Crypto drainers have evolved into an accessible, professionalized software-as-a-service industry, enabling low-skill actors to steal crypto. That just seems interesting. Like they shouldn't allow that now that, crypto is like a real thing. It's always been a real thing, but now we're more widely accepted in the eyes of our parents, our spouses, our friends, our family members, whatever. Crypto drainers, malware designed to steal crypto, have become easier to access as the ecosystem evolves into a software as a service business model. That's fucking crazy. Drainer as a service? There's no way that's real. AML bot CEO Slava Demchuk told CoinTelegraph that previously entering the world of crypto scams required a fair amount of technical knowledge. That is no longer the case under the DAS model. Getting started isn't significantly more difficult than with other types of cybercrime. That's interesting that this is a real thing. Cybercrime in Russia is almost legal. Jesus. Groups offering crypto drainers as a service are increasingly bold, and some are evolving almost like traditional business models. Interesting. Here's a quote from Demchuk. Interestingly, some drainer groups have become so bold and professionalized that they even set up booths at industry conferences, Crypto Grab being one such example. That is so wild. Okay, like in Russia, I get it. Drainers keep growing. Honestly, like at the end of the day, like drainers, scammers, phishing, all that kind of stuff. Like, listen, this is the PSA, right? In all of this, you see articles like this, you see articles about scams, you see all that kind of stuff. Those are just the PSAs. And you have to understand, as we get into the absolute depths of the bull market, the scammers are going to come out. They're going to come out in full force. They are going to try to get your money. They want to try to get it as easily as possible. And so, don't make the mistakes of clicking links. Don't make the mistakes of... There's some crazy ways that it's happening right now where, people are looking for jobs in Web3 and, someone gets like a Zoom link or whatever, but it's just, it's an attack. It's like a phishing attack or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's pretty nuts. So just stay safe out there. Don't click links that you don't know where they come from, or find yourself. I should talk to, I know somebody that will tell me, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Because I will do what I need to do to get the information tonight. But we will talk about things that you can use. Unless you guys know, you can drop in the chat. There's like link checkers that you can check links to make sure, and so you can pop it in something. So I'm going to remind myself to talk about that tomorrow, and I will get that information. So, all right then. Okie dokie, artichoke. Let's do this. Let's say that is it for our articles. I appreciate all of y'all. I appreciate you so much being here, hanging out with us, going through the headlines. Really quick, a quick shout out and a word from one of my homies.
Oh, Dad, how about this one?
Man, that makes me chuckle every time I hear that. Mash that like button. I'll switch the thing up on the screen there. Mash it like you've never mashed it. Okay, so we're going to get into some charts here in just a second. There's a couple that I definitely want to go through. We'll look at some of the ones that we normally check, but we'll look at our dominance. We'll look at the others. We'll look at the total, the S&P 500. What else we got? We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at XRP, ONDO for sure, Solana, and JASMY. Those are the ones that we're absolutely going to look at. If there are other coins that you want to look at, if you want me to pull them up on the chart, we can look at the VWAPs and all that stuff. Just, I don't know, type it in there. And if I see it, we'll go over it. Okay, let's start with... Oh, I didn't know we had a gap. So we made a gap over the weekend. We have a tiny little gap here. Let me bring this up so you guys can see. All right. So right here, we're going to have to. So we've closed it out now down to here. And then we got to add. There you go. So we got a little gap to the downside. It looks like it's between 92.7 and 92.020. That doesn't mean we are going to fill it. That could mean we come back in a few weeks. It doesn't mean that it has to happen right now. we're just being aware of this, right? So we're just taking a look at it. So I had not actually looked at the CME chart in a little while, and so there you go. We got a little bit of a gap ski. Nothing to be alarmed about. It's not a big drop. If anything, from where we currently are, it's 2.75%, 2.74%. So nothing major. And if you look at Bitcoin, and so this is why I'm not in a trade, right? Let's look at Bitcoin, and you'll see this is going to be very common on just about everything else that we look at. Is that we rode high, man. We pumped yesterday and we rode high. We made our new daily way up above. We never came back down and touched the previous daily. And so at some point we're going to remember at 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock PM Eastern is when the daily swaps over. And so, we'll get a fresh look and we'll get another opportunity and maybe a new day to trade. But, I have, and I think I told you, let's see, is it still open on, I might have one, an order on my personal account as well as the show account. No, I canceled that one. But I have an order set for right now. It's 87.39, 87.39 on ONDO. And this is, it's all doing the same kind of thing, right? So you got 89.94 gets us back to, the previous day EMA. That should be that. It's either that or that's going to be the SMA. Yeah, the previous. But we could also see the week to date come close and get touched. If we're going to lose momentum, we're probably going to slap down here and then come back up. And so I'm just getting prepared for it. And if I miss a few percent because we go up a little bit more, so be it. The most important thing, and this is the one most important thing that I'm learning. I've learned a lot, between the last cycle and this one, is that there is always another trade. Do not chase a pump. That's how you get fucking wrecked. Even the other day, I was going up, and I was like, damn, I really want to get into a long. And I did, like a little baby long, and I caught it. And then I got out when I was in the profit. I was like, this is stupid. This is so stupid. And, because it went down for a little bit and then it came back up. And, as soon as it went up in the profit, I was like 5% up. I said, you know what, pull it. Let's just get out of here. While we can. And ultimately that was the right decision because it tanked a little bit. So, cautiously optimistic on all this stuff, but bring this back to Bitcoin. We all know where this is headed. This is all short term. This is all scalping. That's what I'm doing right now with the daily. I'm not, that long term, I am a mega bull, 100%, 1000%, ain't no question about it. And so, that ultimately I know where it's going up and to the right. But I am just playing some of this stuff on a scalp basis and really enjoying it, man. I'm telling you what, this VWAP, this leapfrog indicator has done, it's been spot on for what I've been doing. So if it goes down and touches the previous day, that's where I'm going to get in. I'm not going to get in until that happens. And that playing that has been it's been very successful. And so, that's one of the methods that I've been using to trade. And we've been having fun with it. So, all right, let's see. We were looking at, forget about the S&P 500. I don't want to look at that right now. So here is the total crypto market cap, and let's turn Leapfrog off for this because we don't really need that. And I'm going to put this on the daily. So let's switch over to the daily now because you can see that we broke out. We had been in this absolute downtrend. Man, we got to go even. Move that there. There you go. You can see that. So as you can see, we had been in that steep downtrend since December, since, definitely the turn of the year. We made a little bit of a relief that we got back to the, the end of the year prices over here, but we have just been slipping and slipping and slipping. And so as you can see, as of last week, we were just starting to peak out of here. And then boom skis, we got ourselves a nice little gain of, let's see, market went up. About 10%. I probably missed it a little bit. Even, if you hit the wick at the top, probably about 10%, somewhere around there. So that's good to see. Here's one of my favorite charts. Got to get rid of my arrows there. Look, that's important. That's something that we needed. We need to start seeing this. This is the others chart. Remember, this is the chart that is every altcoin. This is everything outside of the top 10. So no Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, USDT, USDC, Solana, none of that shit. It is nothing but number 11 market cap and down. And that in conjunction with well, we don't have it yet, but a falling Bitcoin dominance is when we start to see an altcoin season. And so as you can see, you are absolutely in an uptrend until you're not. And we are still moving up on the Bitcoin dominance. So no matter, even though altcoins from 11 market cap and all the way to wherever, however many there are, millions, that's this chart. We need this thing to go up and we need the Bitcoin dominance to go down. But Bitcoin dominance is still going up. We could see this thing peak out at some point. We had been looking at this with Blocky on Monday this week. Let's go to the weekly. I think we could probably get there faster if we do that. Right here. If we look at where we have gone dominance-wise, and we were talking about this a few weeks ago on this show too, because that's why, these things are circled here. But look, this line right here at about the 70% dominance level, boom, smacked it once. And then what happened? Boom, dropped. Smacked it. Boom, dropped. Smacked it. Boomed it. That's what my daughter says, boomed it. And so, we're on our way up here. Why not? Let's give a little bit more to Bitcoin. This is its bull run. We know that the institutions, the governments, the nation states, everybody's looking for Bitcoin. They don't want fart coin right now. You know that. Doom, lighten up the chat. Let's go. So let's give Bitcoin a little bit more of a runski. And then, boom, hit this level somewhere in this box. Now, I remember, actually somewhere in this box, fucking idiot. This is an entire year, over an entire year. So, no, we're not going to do that. What we are going to do, we're going to draw. So, let's say we are here now between, and this is the weekly. Okay, so let's just say, man, August is late, but we could see Bitcoin run up to that level, kind of at a steady pace. That kind of gives us in line with this trend line that we're seeing, right? Yeah, you know what I mean. That puts us sometime in here between now and this trend line, which is wise. I'm glad how that all worked out. We are going to hit that 70%, and then from there, that maybe we dance a little bit, maybe we do a little fakey, a little triple deke like Mighty Ducks. Maybe we do that, and then we go down. And we need to see a big drop, guys and girls, a big drop. Because look, this is an altcoin season right here, 43%. This is an altcoin season right here, 46%. I'll take this at this point. Holy shit, 20%. Give that to me. So, however it goes, however this thing shakes out, that's what we need. And you've seen it play out 3 times in history so far. So that's what we're looking for. Is the 4th time is the charm, because this would be the big one. Capiche? Capiche? Okay. That was dominance. That was not the Bitcoin chart. That was dominance. What do we got here on the Bitcoin chart? Let's go back. Let's throw on a leapfrog. Anybody got any questions on this? Are there any other, let's see, XCN? Your mom. What's up, your mom? And we can probably take a look at that a little bit here. Okay. Let's go off the weekly. Let's go to the 48-minute. Let's get ourselves a nice little spread here. Okay. So back to this. We're, looking at this a little bit ago. This to me, like, I wouldn't get in the long by how adding this into my tools of trading, this just is like another thing. I wouldn't get into a long until we see this thing come down here and I can be patient, right? What are your Bitcoin price targets for taking profits on alts? My Bitcoin price targets for taking profits on alts is not even no. Because I don't like Bitcoin enough to care about its price in relation, in conjunction to the other, because again, the Bitcoin price can go up while dominance falls. Good. That's fine. Like we need the altcoins to go up. And so I am A-okay with having my price targets be based on price targets for those particular coins and have nothing to do with how Bitcoin performs. Because at the end of the day, you guys have probably heard me say this a few times. And I'll go full screen for this. I fully believe and expect that at some point soon, if we're not seeing this already, the rest of the market is going to pull away from Bitcoin. It has to. It's too big. Bitcoin, again, we will always pay respect to the king. We'll always understand that, you know, first to market, first mover, Satoshi, all that stuff. Yay, Bitcoin, woo. But at the end of the day, like the market is much bigger and it will continue to grow and it will dwarf Bitcoin. Bitcoin will just be the little midget stepchild of crypto at some point. When you think about where some of these markets are going. And I know that there are arguments that you can make against what I'm saying, like, you know, with nation states fighting for it and all that stuff. But at some point, somebody had put out something where some lawyers like suing, what is it? Is it Homeland Security? Is it the DOJ? Someone's suing someone or something like that. Well, I can look the story up, over the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. And in my opinion, if that goes through, because the court doesn't give a fuck about a bunch of old Bitcoin maximalists ethos of Satoshi's, pseudonymous name or whatever, like identity, like they're not going to get into actual business with a ghost. Like that's not a real thing at all. And I know people have their arguments for it doesn't need the permission and all that stuff, but like you guys can understand, like I just feel like the business is probably a little bit bigger. And so like if that's something that literally happens where they choose to release the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto, that to me, I don't want to say that that's a death sentence, but you're going to get a lot of people who sell their coins just because of that. And we've heard a couple people say that, and some OGs in the space who have agreed, who understand and said the same thing. They're like, yeah, that should not happen. Something like that should never happen. So let's see here. What is the leapfrog indicator? Where is the leapfrog indicator? Is it paid? Yes. So go back here. I can do this for you. Let me go. What I will do is I'm going to put the video with Flopping Groper. FG Nick is his name, CryptoFace's brother. He and I did a collab. We did an interview where we shot the shit for a little bit, and then he told me about the indicator. There you go. That link I just put into the chat. So watch that and check it out. And if it's something that interests you, then you're going to want to, join the Discord and sign up and do all the things you got to do. I'm unsure of the price and the lifetime and all that stuff. But I can tell you that this thing has been absolutely phenomenal. And when I call this thing a magnet, again, I'm not getting into a long until we come down and touch the previous daily. We pumped all day yesterday. We didn't do that. It was like 2 days. And so I think, we are, you could see here yesterday, we barely even like hung out on our own daily. Right. And so we were well above it. We pumped way above our own, daily VWAP. And then right here, we got a new one. And I know that like the way that there leaps, right? Where it leaps versus like, I'm clearing zones or, like a CME gap. It's not the same. I get that. It makes the leaps, but it is like a magnet. And so I would tell you guys, if you're just getting into trading, learn some other strategies first, like learn the basics and all that stuff, and make sure that you come along for the journey. I told you, I went into lengths in the beginning of the show about how I'm just totally restructuring my content and format. And from there, within like that show that has the changing theme each day at a time zone, like there'll be times again where there's 101 sessions, where it's 101, not 101, 101 sessions where you get a chance to learn, like some basics of cryptos and all this stuff. And we'll do some, intro to trading and all sorts of things. So make sure that you guys are following, make sure you're subscribed. If you are watching on YouTube, in the link in the description, there's also the sign up for an account on Phemex, start trading. The There is a lot of things that we're going to be doing. And you're also going to want to get into the Telegram channel as well. There'll be calls. There's all sorts of analyst stuff that's happening in there. That is a very, very cool thing that Phemex has offered to me. So very excited. Make sure you guys get in there. I will be in that. Also, if you want to get in our X chat, you can do that. That's always a fun thing. So, but come join the crew. Come join and be a part of the squad. We're always trading. We're sharing our wins. We're sharing our losses. We're telling stories, laughing, all that stuff. So, pretty sure it's $100 for the inconvertible up indicator and 25 a month for his group. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure. That may be right. That may be correct. Thanks, David. I appreciate you, fam. Shout out to you being here. Thank you. Great interview. Thank you. Crypto Maniac 1776. Let's get it. So, all right. So that's where I'm at with Bitcoin. Here we are with XRP. You can load up. As you can see, it's a little bit of a different story. Like today, we came down and we touched the year to date. The year to date was much lower here than, say, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's year to date is, I guess, Bitcoin's is lower. So what I meant to say is that this one actually got touched. And I think, the week to, again, I'm paying attention to some of the larger time frames because I was trying to explain to you guys earlier, like I'm doing like the scalping stuff on the daily, and then there's weekly, monthly, yearly, quarters, all that kind of stuff. Right now, I am specifically focusing on the daily, but there is a lot of cool shit to learn with that. So that's what I was just trying to say was, some of these leaps happen in different stages for different coins. And so you can see, like, here we go. We haven't touched anything today. Let's see, the 23rd, it starts, here's where, anything other than the daily VWAP, we've touched nothing else. So like, it's either going to happen today or it's going to happen tomorrow. So I would just hold off on getting into a long. That's what I'm doing. Y'all can get into any trades you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm holding off. So that's what I meant to say. But here, so back to XRP. Back to XRP. Here you go. Same kind of thing. This is, it's just one of those days where, we had a really good day yesterday. Trading was awesome. It was Pumpsville. Kind of like got to let everything retrace and come back down to earth. And you got some opportunities where you could catch a wick and then, you scalp a quick scalp. But, on some of these shorter but longer time frames, it doesn't seem like the action is right for me today. So I'm holding off. Again, there's always another trade. You can always find something. There might be another, we might, be scrolling down the list and find something that looks juicy that maybe we want to get into. You never know. We're not afraid to get into a live trade here if the conditions are correct. Like if we saw any one of these things wick down and touch the previous day, we'd get into a long real quick. So here's ONDO. As you can see, same story. It was just riding high after yesterday. All the previous, the leaps and everything would be to the downside. And I don't like shorting. When the news is as good and I'm as bullish as I am, this is not the time to short because something could happen and the market could flip around on you in a heartbeat. So I'm not in the mood for shorting right now. So there is ONDO. Here is Solana. Let's see what's the story with Sol. Same thing, man. Just riding high. And JASMY. Man, I tell you what, JASMY, our number one gainer, right? This is our number one gainer in our Shrimpin portfolio. 173. Let's go. I'm telling you guys, like, I'm super bullish on JASMY. I think JASMY is going to have a great bull run. A fantastic bull run. And I think once kind of like what we see here, clear regulation and a better understanding, Japan is going through the same thing. JASMY is like the flagship token there. It's been started by like several of the executives from like Japan's biggest companies. And so that thing is going to get some love when the time is right, when markets do go. And so I've got my bag of JASMY, not only the Shrimpin bag, but I got a bag of JASMY. That is going to be a ripper. It was cool to see that thing below a penny briefly. I think 0.008 is where it was at. So let's go. Mike Vollmer in the building. JASMY, let's go. Send it. Let's just full send JASMY up to like, I don't know, 30 cents. 30 cents from where it's at. Let's look at let's zoom this sucker out. Let's go to the weekly chart because there have been much better days on JASMY. Ooh, we've got some old drawings. Oh, we've got the last time we did the zoom out on JASMY, we created our massive. This is our massive triangle of love, and we're coming to the end here. We're coming to the end of, this line right here represents the beginning of quarter 3 H2, if you will. And at that point, we should be well on our way to recovering into Valhalla, where you long your longs, as BitLord used to say. Man. So here's kind of like what I'm projecting is if we go up and we start pumping, this is kind of like where we stay. Now, if we send it, if this thing sends, we're going to go well above this line. This is just the trend line. Since really it's probably started in November of 22, so the end of 2022. So quite some time. Swee's been crushing it today. I got that right here. Look at that candle. My goodness. That is the week, though. Let's go to the hourly. Yeah, this is one of those ones, man. It ripped up. I had been very vocal about missing it at $1, and then it ripped up to 2, 3, 4, 5, all that stuff. And this thing came back down like everything else did recently, a little bit later than a lot of the other projects did, but it is recovering nicely as of late, and back up to $3, $299.99, $299.99, just a skosh under $3 for the suey. Do you say suey or suey? Let's check our poll. 38% say green, 12% say red, 17% said neither, and 33% said both. Both. You got, that's me right there. I've been like, fuck it, let's go. Let's have fun. Let's make money and see a different part of the world, or a different world, or universe, or whatever those pills would have done. We didn't even say what they would do. We just took them from a frog in a trench coat. It's kind of sus. Except for the 17% said, no, I ain't taking those things from that guy. Because we did say you specifically have to take them from the frog in the trench. The frog in the trench, in the trenches. The frog in the trench, in the trenches. Let's see. You got VeChain at 2.5 cents. Let's get it. Man, everything is just on the time frames that I'm looking at, just hang tight. You got a few more hours till the new daily begins. So, I think that's it. You guys got anything? You got anything you want to see? Any charts? Any conversations? You got any questions? Comments? Concerns? I will take your silence as full satisfaction of the day. And if you could do me a favor, if you are having a good day, I would appreciate it if you smash the like button. If you're watching on X, hit the heart, and give me a follow, subscribe to the channel, do all the things you got to do. You're going to be kicking out some different content very soon here, and then also going to be doing some other pre-recorded stuff that just kick the desk, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I appreciate you guys joining for the journey. We are not changing much. In fact, we are adding a whole fuck ton. So thank you so much. And that goes along with the making yourself better. And I'm shooting for a little bit more than a 1% better kind of thing. I kind of have like this goal to really make it happen for this and me and my family and all that stuff, like all of us do. But this is my opportunity. This is my passion. Again, like I went to school to do radio. Like, why the fuck not? Why didn't I think about this earlier? And I'm sure I probably did, but the time wasn't right. And at this point, I think I've got the right concepts, the right help, the right people. And if there's always a will, there is a way, and I have the will, so there will be a way. So I appreciate you guys. Make sure you do something to make yourself better, no matter what it is. We talk about this all the time. It could be your relationships, it could be your finance, it could be your job, it could be your hobby, it could be anything. Do what you can to make it better, right? Call someone that you've been meaning to call. Open that email that you've been meaning to open. Open that letter from the U.S. mail. That's right. Open that letter that you've been meaning to open. You never know. You never know where it's going to go. I don't know what letter you know what that is, but I'm sure one of you got a letter that you're like, damn, he's right, this motherfucker. Anyway, all right, I love you guys. Have a good rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Ciao for now.